11 area schools face closure and 9 others face consolidation after the Hastings and Prince Edward District School Board voted on Monday to look into making changes to schools in Belleville, Picton, and Madoc. Nick Ogden went to the meeting and joins us live now.
Megan, the board is now looking at a plan that could affect up to 19 schools within the region. Parents and students aren't very happy about this decision.
Monday's meeting was packed with parents and other community members who were waiting anxiously to hear about the future of their children's schools. Major high schools including Moira Secondary, Centennial Secondary, Quinte Secondary could be looking a lot different starting next September. Katie Soul is a grade 11 student at Quinte Secondary. She says she had become comfortable at the school, but now that foundation is gone.
My sisters went there, my mom went there, so it's like a second home to me since I've been there for half of my day, 6 hours, even more with curriculars, and I've made my friends there. It's going to really suck to have to leave.
Facebook chat has been started for students from all 3 of Belleville's public high schools to voice their opinion, but Soul says the students are crushed that in both scenarios the board is looking at, Quinte will close in 2018.
And with the decisions made and shown, Quinte looks like a school that is going to be shut down. There's no other decision that shows that we could be up and running, and it's really hard on a student there because we know that whatever we do, nothing's going to change that.
Soul isn't the only one in her family upset about the proposed changes. Her mother, Lori Carmichael, says she found out about them through a Facebook post.
I think that the school boards should have sent out some sort of a form to the parents and asked their opinion. I didn't even know anything about it until I seen it on Facebook. It's our children's lives that they're disrupting, not theirs.
Carmichael says that as a parent, her priority is keeping her child safe at all times. If she has to go to a new school farther from home, she says that will be harder to do.
I accommodate through my job to make sure that my daughter's safe. And that's the whole aspect. It's not for me just driving her. It's the fact of making sure she is safe and getting to school, making sure I get her, it's hard to explain, but I want to make sure that my child's safe at all times.
In a statement made by the Hastings and Prince Edward District School Board, quote, "It is necessary for us to review options to ensure all students have access to programs and services to achieve success."
So the board is looking at 2 options that could come into play next June. Option 1 is the preferred option by administration, and that includes closing Quinte Secondary, moving students to Centennial and Moira for September of 2018, closing Moira Secondary, and asking for funding from the Ontario Ministry of Education to build a new school in the east end of Belleville, opening in September of 2020. Option 2 looks just like option 1, but instead of closing Moira, they would be asking the Ministry of Education for funding to add an addition to Moira in order to accommodate those new students coming in. But let me be clear, like I said earlier, these are only a few of the 19 schools that could be affected. Schools spanning from Madoc all the way through to Picton will have to wait a decision come next June. It will all depend on the amount of funding received from the Ministry of Education, but until then, the 7-month review period began on Monday. Back to you, Megan.
Thanks, Nick.